Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just saw Zootopia and watched the sloths at the DMV. Oh, okay. Really kind of get zoned out doing that and just.
Cute movie though.
Oh, yeah. Haven't had a good laugh like that since Despicable Me first came out, really. Maybe the new one, the Minions movie
Minions.
itself. Um. So, howdy everybody. Welcome to the channel. It is midnight, Sunday night, and we're not quite asleep yet.
Which is a shame because, Sunday night, which means tomorrow's Monday.
Yeah. But we've got some news and events and commentary, and
Don't mind me, I'm working on Christmas presents.
she's knitting.
Crocheting.
Kind of looks like she's knitting though.
One needle, not two. One needle.
It's like knitting, but from Yugoslavia. Yeah. Hey, and they call it Croatia because they crochet there? You didn't know where I was going with that joke? Yeah, okay.
I was just trying to set you up for that joke.
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck off. Wait, did I just call you a mister?
Last, yeah. No.
Well, I missed her, but so we got a bunch of crap that apparently an overfed pencil left behind, and that was the joke for the day. That was the joke that I told you.
Y'all are welcome for that.
Yeah, she put me up to that one. So today I'm using a chair, feeling charitable. Oh no, more puns. And basically, you're having a seat in our house because you're sitting on a chair in front of us. So, welcome to this little shithole.
In case y'all are wondering, no, I didn't do a line of coke with typewriter mouth. I'm sucking on a jawbreaker because I'm trying to quit smoking. I just noticed, like, I looked up, I was sucking on it, and it looked really bad. Hey.
Why did you choose to put that in there before we were making a video? Or how long is that?
It was actually in there before.
Couldn't maybe spit it out before we started filming. Yeah, man, I'm on a jawbreaker, so I have something to say and you want to talk about it.
Yeah, because, I have no practice in the art of eating candy while needing to talk like a proper human being.
I can hear you swishing around while you say that. You're not supposed to talk with your mouth full.
My mouth isn't full.
Semantics! Okay.
Truth.
You kind of like have like this little gerbil tension going. My mouth isn't full.
It's not.
Not anymore.
It's still there.
The sound is distracting me. You gonna spew into this?
No.
Give it.
No.
Give it.
No.
Cough it up. We have news to cover.
We can cover news.
Alright. Just stop.
I'll stop clacking into my teeth.
Sound like a French Quarter lesbian on speed, just like coming down, just like a tongue piercing, just clacking away in there, you know. I sprained my tongue. Eating out 20 foot. What? Um, Donald Trump finger exercisers. I mean, what?
Oh God.
Stress squeezers. You know, those things he keeps under his office desk that he needs to grab when he gets stressed out.
You mean his balls?
Not his. Bruce Jenner's. I mean, what?
Wait, was it you that told me?
That's where they put him.
Was it you that told me, or was it a conversation I had at work that apparently Caitlyn Jenner wants to go back to being Bruce Jenner? Or... Ow.
Was that your hip or my brain? It was a pop.
That was my hip.
Okay, I thought my mind exploded.
Must have been a work conversation then.
We're old. I can reciprocate with my own hip pop. No, not quite. I feel it building up there. That didn't look right. Shouldn't really be doing that on camera, Sean. Namely, because I don't have anything sticking out of the side of my hip. That would be weird.
That'd be very weird. But we'd also be very rich.
And then I could be on CNN like that lady with the nose that just goes up. Doesn't go. Just like up. It kind of gets wider. She has like the point of a nose and it gets wider up here. She didn't look retarded or anything. Just, I mean, coldly analytical jackass. I'm sorry. You know, she didn't have like wide set eyes. Just like looks like some form of alien unicorn hybrid, maybe. I don't know. I think it's about time we got to the fucking news.
Maybe.
Because after all, a pencil did shit on my paper. Okay, so Putin Pleaser is the title of this scribble scratch here. I know it's the title because it's written at the top.
As opposed to the bottom, because then it would be the closer.
Or the signature.
Or the PS.
Or a little wooden boy.
I'm a real boy!
I'm not a whore anymore.
I'm not a whore anymore! I'm not a whore anymore!
Oh, okay. I'm not a whore anymore.
Flashback.
Flashback.
4 years ago.
You did not see that just now. These are not the whores you're looking for. Wait.
We are not the whores you're looking for.
You are not a whore anymore. Okay. So there was this girl at work, and that's as far as that story's gonna go. Because it's funnier that way. Anyway. All right. So
Putin's pussy pleaser.
That's easy for you to say. And you smell like 1, 2. Wait, what? This really isn't going anywhere quick.
No.
It's almost been 10 minutes.
Well, then we're truly gone back to the ways of the TwoWitnessNews.
Cool. TwoWitnessNews kicking it all stuff for ya.
Where we talked about nothing for the first 15, 20 minutes. Then all of a sudden gets serious when we lose all the trolls.
Yes. All up in that ass with the scribble scratch. Yeah, what?
This is me expressing my flair.
I thought this was like Mitch McConnell on a list or something. It was Paul Ryan. I don't know. trying to remember one of my own videos, but I don't know. I'm not that good. I don't have like interns. I just got a dog that sits there and licks its balls while I try to film. Okay.
Are you upset that he's not licking your balls while you're trying to film?
No, I'm pretty sure I would be upset if he tried to lick my balls while I tried to film. Well, or any other time, really. You set me up for that one. You set me up for that one. Points, yes, points. Okay.
Sorry.
Just gonna enjoy the freshness. Okay, I would do anything for laughs, but I won't write scripts. Okay, so we have some things that yeah, I suppose it's probably best if trolls had buggered off by now before we talk about them, because very serious strategic things. Shouldn't be a shock for my longer term subscribers, considering how much we just fucked around here. So anyways, this is in no particular order. So I'm just going to start from the top. First is let's reflect upon whether or not we really want to get rid of the TPP. Especially in light of the shitstorm of diplomacy that has been brewing lately due to one
or lack thereof, rather.
That's just the extent to which I want to say all three of his names in a row. Digita. 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 Sounds like some kind of evil worm deity or something like that. Like I just pictured like a Warcraft defiler. So, the thing is, not only is the TPP a trade alliance, if you will, that is meant to counterbalance not only, well, let's face it, the EU too, as well as the Eurasian Union, kind of like the new Soviet Union, only bigger and more powerful. Yes, it actually is. And we're going to get into exactly why and how that's taking shape later in the list. But okay, so this involves South Korea, Japan, Australia. Used to involve the Philippines. Duarte's kind of douchebagged our way out of it. That makes him and Trump really happy that it's dying because of some other things, like it's not only an economic alliance, but it's more of an economic security alliance and a human rights alliance. It had a whole bunch of provisions for cooperation on basic human rights, human trafficking, civil rights, workers' rights, especially in regards to the trade expansion that was going on. So overall, it would have been very good for our economy, very good for all of our allies' economies around the Asia Pacific region, and good for their contribution to our mutual security. And this is just one of many institutions of peace that Digita seems to be at odds with, that I've seen for a long time, that puts him in line with the KGB agenda, which makes it no coincidence that the KGB got him elected or installed him. So, first on the relationship list that I want to go into is the 400-pound gorilla that's been fucking raging around the media these days is the U.S. China Taiwan relationship. Okay, to understand this relationship, you have to realize from Thailand to Korea, Manchuria, this all used to be one feudal state. It was like sort of a disunited states of Qingdao, okay? And you had another family called the Hun in the north, all right? And the Hun unified with the Mongolian horde, which later became unified with communism, all right? And the Communist Party took out the Qin dynasty in China and took out the Qin dynasty in Vietnam. And one of the last pagan emperors just died in, was it actual Thailand? The Thai king just died.
I think so.
Yeah, that was one of the last pagan emperors, like from actual like what's called pagan, that stretched from um, post-Roman Thrace in Europe, that later became the Slavic nations, all the way through Australasia to the Americas. This pagan kingdom was a Johannite kingdom of many tribes of Israel that had different traditions and different cultures and different kind of sub beliefs of their religion that were centered around, I mean, completely different, arcane seeming, and they would be alien seeming to Europeans, interpretations of what spirituality means. Okay. Um, and you want to talk about people with ancient knowledge. I mean, each of them were responsible. Each one of these cultures was responsible for their own type of ancient knowledge. But I'm going far too into that for a video about current day strategy. Anyways,
All this has happened before.
I just started picturing like an ancient memory set of mine, like just very clearly, and I started wanting to get into it, like the way the world just was then. But anyways, um,
All this has happened before. All this will happen again.
where I was when I was thinking about that at the time, it's really cool. But, anyway, notes. Gonna stick to the pencil shit. Okay, excuse me, pencil defecation. Um, not being a smartass, not being a smartass, not reminding those who judge me of who the judge really is. Why would I do that? That would just be appropriate. Anyway, um, so understanding the Taiwan relationship, you need to understand our place in the TPP was an earned place based upon American ideals, based upon liberal ideals, like American liberalism, not libtard, whatever the new leftist rhetorical nonsense term for liberal is. But, democratic ideals. For instance, the things that we were trying to stand up for: human rights, human trafficking, workers' rights. These are issues that we have sort of an agreement with China to work diplomatically behind the scenes with them on, both in China and in Taiwan. Okay. Bear in mind, Taiwan was never an American protectorate. It was a British protectorate. All right. And I believe it was like a gifted democracy or something from the cousin of the Qin emperor that went to Japan or whatever. Anyways, I'm not sure if that history is secret or not.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, man. See, this is why people should fucking contact me. All right. So the thing is about the relationship that we have with Taiwan is, to the best of my knowledge, and I don't think Donald Trump knows any better than me because he hasn't fucking been, going to his classified briefings and whatnot. Um,
Right? How?
we don't directly sell weaponry and shit to Taiwan. There are, third parties like the British, I think, is who actually sells it to them. So we sell it to them, and then they sell it to them. You know, and the reason why that might seem kind of shady and hypocritical. No, it's about public policy as far as and this is where Hillary Clinton comes in. Being a diplomat requires that you have a public place and a public face and a private face. The Chinese don't want it publicly known, not only among their own people, among leadership. Like, I mean, politics comes into play in other countries too, believe it or not. Like, they're not just like a unified force that's out to get us, the way Republicans portray most countries as. Um, there's a specific set of interests that China has. And Taiwan and the United States and China ostensibly do what amounts to a certain level of role playing. And Russia's the audience. Okay? See, the thing with Russia, and that's the next one on the list, the U.S. Russia Korea um, relationship. The thing with Russia is they're not going to go to war with us unless they can get China to go to war with us. Am I right?
Well, because then we're outmatched.
Right.
At that point.
Right.
One or the other, not so much, but together, yeah.
Like, they don't really stand a chance without China. And it's really hard. It's really hard to see both at the same time without the bloodiest conflict anyone can possibly imagine. And don't think that nuclear weapons are going to go off and this is going to be quick and easy for anyone. Nope, it won't happen. I guarantee it. You're going to get a few air fuel strikes. But you're looking at a long, protracted process of hell. I mean, from just, how many body parts did you see on your way to school, dear? To Mom, why can't we kill the neighbors and take their food? Those are the questions that'll be spoken in a few years. Like, that's the kind of world that we're devolving into. Doubt me if you want. I can see it. make better choices, and we might avoid it. But in the meantime, if we allow Donald Trump to seize the throne, that's where we're headed. Because we will be at a serious, just, I mean, freight train like trajectory towards war. You know, I mean, I don't know how to overstate this.
Motherfucker's gonna wind up getting us all killed.
All right, another part of the U.S. China role playing thing that I've been trying to told you. Hold that with my foot. Okay. Is about North Korea. See, you'll hear a lot about the U.S. needs China to rein in North Korea. That's because China is the partner of Russia, who is the partner of North Korea. Okay, so it's an indirect diplomacy. China, while having a lot to lose, doesn't have anything to gain from North Korea being its isolated self or from a war breaking out. It has a lot to lose from the present status quo, and it has a lot to lose from most of the likely changes that could occur, including the refugees. That is pretty much the only thing that they'll actually mention as a negative consequence. Basically, there is kind of a like an old China, new China. But the new China is trying to get back to an even older China. And that's pre-communist China.
Before the British colonies took over.
No, I mean, really, that's a lot of propaganda. The British colonies, the colonial period, was formed coincidentally after the collapse of the Mongolian Empire, after the collapse of Islamic expansion. And despite the propaganda that has caused most uprisings here and there, most of these countries have wound up resuming very positive relations with the British and with the people who formerly colonialized them. Because it's almost as though history is a lie and perhaps they were actually liberated from the Mongolian horde, liberated from Islam. You know, I'm programmed to. I'll feel that. Like, for instance, is South Korea an American colony? Or do we do like we say? Do we protect democracy there? It seems to me like South Korea is kind of, aside from the present obvious propaganda war that's taking place there, trying to stop an intelligence sharing agreement between South Korea and Japan in the form of a protest about a tabloid like news story. That's how this shit works these days. Welcome to hybrid warfare. And that's what the Pentagon, this is what the Pentagon means. What I'm talking to you about is what the Pentagon means when they say hybrid warfare. They're not talking about little green men. Shills. I don't even know, like, which shill to name. Like, every fucking shill out there says that they're talking about little green men and hybrid warfare. It must be aliens.
Must be.
Well, they're Martians, but they're from here. Huh? Okay. They worship the god of war.
People
Mars attacks, the ultimate psyop.
People from Phoenix are Phoenicians.
Me. Hi, Joey. Um, kids are asleep. We can watch more Louis C.K. after we're done wasting over a half an hour of these people's time. That's what you get for letting us be trapped in the little box in your living room. You should let us have
Show it.
it. I saw the mime. I should have stopped my car, but I hit him anyway. What? That's cold because you know I used to be one, kind of a bit, perhaps. What? Stop looking at me. Okay, sorry. Anyways, so back into the relationships. Oh yeah.
Bow, bow, bow.
U.S., China, Taiwan, and Korea getting it on. Where was I going with this? I don't really know. I don't really know anymore. So, as I've stated in previous videos, Russia has been supplying. Actually, I've proven this in videos, videographically proven this, that Russia supplies missile technology to North Korea. So just know that every time North Korea, Kim Un Fuckistan or whatever his name is, launches another missile, tests another missile, gets another capability.
He leveled up. Is anybody else but me? Like
He blowed Putin. He blued. He painted in blue. He blued Putin like a gun.
Does anybody else but me like think of new capabilities with North Korean dude? Like think, he leveled up. Here, have 25,000 gil and a magic sphere.
No, he walks into the room and there's Putin. Like he has to walk and go open up the treasure chest. 1 million AP. And he goes and fills out his character stats. Oh, 2 typo dong. 3 2. But yeah, they have the multiple launch rocket systems, like the basic artillery, the you know, like most of the guns, fire trucks, trains, planes, and automobiles. Pretty sure lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my!
Literally, from Putin to the Kim family for their little, narcissistic collection that all them fucking weirdos have. Um, planes, trains, and automobiles, lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my!
You already said that. So did they.
Hi.
It's on a little box that remembers things. Magic. Wait, no. Science. All right. So basically, this whole Sino-U.S. relationship is a complicated clusterfuck that can't be waltzed into by Mr. Wrong. Okay? Because he is Mr. Wrong. Wrong man for the job. Wrong man for America. Wrong man for world peace. Because what he has shown is a consistent, systematic contempt for the very institutions that generations of people have died to establish, have fought and bled for. like the UN, the European Union, even, and especially NATO. TPP could have been the western flank economically of like the combined EU and NATO. We could have gotten that much benefit out of that much security, that much deterrent to preserve peace. But instead, we got trumped. Oh boy, he's going to gold plate the shit out of everything, and we'll all have jobs as cuckoo clocks. I don't know what the fucking plan there was. I know what the delusion was. But yeah, I like plans.
Right. This whole flying by the seat of your pants thing, I don't like it.
That's why when I was 9 years old, I had the nickname Mastermind. Okay. But anyways, it'd be really nice if we had smart diplomatic people who knew how to make measured decisions instead of literally dictating via Twitter. And I'm sorry, but Twitter itself should be blamed for a percentage of the downfall of American democracy by destroying intellectual discourse, because Twitter, being allowed to control the conversation, eliminates intelligent people from that conversation. Why? Because nobody with any respect for their intelligence, unless they did it for a living, unless they're a journalist or something, or a CNN pundit or something, nobody with any respect for their own intelligence is going to sign up for Twitter. Because they're not twits. If that hasn't occurred to you, you might be a twit. I'm sorry that you're a twit. But, if you don't have something to gain out of Twitter, and you just signed up for Twitter, so you could tweet. Oh, about tweeting, not because you're a twit. Twit is not a present, past, or participle form of the word tweet. A twit is a dumbass. And yeah. It's not like tweet, twit, twat. It just doesn't go that way.
Are you sure? Because it should.
Despite what sort of moist object your head might be stuck up, anyways. So, getting back to the relationships. Okay. Another interesting relationship of note that the Republicans and Donald Trump seem to want to walk all over while being on interestingly shady sides of it is the U.S., Russia, Iran, Saudi relationship. I don't know if you noticed it. Have you noticed that the Saudis and the Iranians don't seem to like each other very much? Nah.
Whatever gave you that impression.
Well, here's the thing. We don't like Iran. We used to have really good relationships with the Iranian people. There's a lot of Iranian defectors that came to this country. There's a lot of their family still in Iran. There's a lot of ties there that could promote democratic revival in Iran. Okay. But there is a big communist party that, of course, calls itself some sort of People's Party. I forgot what it's called, the Revolutionary Party or whatever. And the biggest influence, the biggest partner they have is Russia. Okay. So understand that our objective in being diplomatic with Iran isn't about Israel so much as it is Russia. It's not about what they say it is, about the nuclear weapons, about this and that. It's about influence. Okay, just like with China. In fact, in this diplomatic scenario, China and Iran are a lot alike. Okay. And to get back to the Taiwan thing, an analogy that we made earlier is that Trump directly contacting the Taiwanese leadership is seen by the Chinese the same way the Ukrainians would see it if we contacted the Donetsk People's Republic or the Crimean cabinet or whatever they have down there. You know, like legitimate government, not legitimate government.
It's like walking into a restaurant and completely skipping over your server and going straight to the cook and telling them what you want.
Right, and we might even have some reason. You know, I mean, this isn't the case right now, but there might be some reason we might have humanitarian contact or some kind of contact with somebody in Crimea or Donbass. You know, like we have in Taiwan. But that's not something that you go on Twitter and talking about the president. You know, like just moron. Okay, no, not a moron. See, that's the easy road out. Just like with George W. Bush, thinking he's a moron is the easy road out. No, he's a calculated, professional KGB saboteur. Okay, listen, all of y'all, this is sabotage. Can't stand it, but I know he planned it. I'm gonna set straight this Watergate. You can't shut me up with a push of a button. What did I tell you about the muses? All came true. Anyway, man, I'm smoking the fuck out of these things. Okay, so I'm gonna put that one down for a second. See how long I can resist. I shall resist. I am not a random quote machine for children's movies, and neither am I.
That lady did.
Bingo. Maybe if you walk in 3 more circles, you'll get comfortable. Okay. All right. So my thumb is actually starting to erase it. All right. Let's talk about corporatism. Corporate Democrats. Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing that we bitch about? Corporate Democrats, really? Are you saying that you're a communist? Do you not understand that corporations are the people who make the phones that you're using, the TVs, whatever that you're using right now? Corporations are the reason why you're not in a totalitarian dictatorship. Period. Okay? This is not the Starship Enterprise. Okay? We're not, running on credits here. This is the real world. This real world has a real past, a real present, and a real future. And things happen. Like events. Not Breitbart tabloids. Like actual fucking things that happen in the world affect, other things. This is how I feel like you have to explain things to Republicans, Trump supporters. Like fucking real things happen, and that's called like the past. And real things are happening now, and that's called the present.
Please don't explode.
I'm
Please don't
in a forest.
explode.
Yeah. I am not a duck. Now that we got that out of the way.
So you must not be the stick.
Am I made of wood? Alright. So this whole idea of democratic elites, it's just driving me fucking insane. People really need to understand that it wasn't about democratic elites. It wasn't about corporatist Democrats, people being disgusted by corporatist Democrats. The only people actually disgusted by corporatist Democrats are fucking communists and communist pundits sitting there posing as fucking fellow Democrats, but they're actually wolves in sheep's clothing who are trying to drive a wedge in the Democratic Party. You want to go be socialist? Go be fucking socialist. Start a socialist party and be socialists. Maybe then we can have, the level-headed centrist Republicans and the level-headed centrist liberals in one party called Democratic because it's for the democracy. Dee-dee-dee. So, wouldn't that be lovely? Because, the thing about elites that the people who bitch about elites don't want you to know is that the only thing that makes them elite is the knowledge that they have that makes them successful. And that knowledge is what makes them a national security asset to this country. That knowledge is the embodiment of the stability of our democracy. That knowledge is why you get to sleep at night without hearing fucking artillery shells going off like half the world. Yeah. I mean, billions of people will be trying to sleep tonight to the sound of artillery in the fucking faint distance. A lot of those people are called Europeans. And I mean, dude, this shit ain't that far away. And there are some big fucking blasts going off. Europe is not a gigantic place. Ukraine, what state's Ukraine about the size of? About the size of Texas, maybe?
I know Ukraine's pretty big.
Ukraine's, big. But they've gotten pretty far along,
They've lost a good chunk.
lost a good chunk of it.
Probably about the size of
And if you didn't think they started ramping up their attacks and taking more land as soon as Donald Trump was installed or won the election or whatever, you'd be sorely mistaken because they have been just fucking pounding the Ukrainians. Morning, noon, and night. But yeah, basically, what makes a democratic elite is they have national security knowledge, and this communist network of fucking shills wants them gone because they want our national security weakened. It's just that simple, okay? And they use rhetoric like corporatist Democrats and elites, okay, the same way they do in Moscow. Hello? That's what they call us, the elites. You know? All right. I can't read what that says. So, there's a difference between a corrupt, rich, greedy bastard and a capitalist. You know, a capitalist is a very general term. A oligarch, for instance, an oligarch could be considered a type of capitalist. But that's what America is founded against. That's what actual capitalism is meant to prevent. So what happens in American capitalism is thousands of people will own a corporation. So it becomes a little tiny democracy among itself. And generally speaking, with the help of some government oversight, corporations tend to self police to a certain extent. Like I said, with the help of some government oversight. And that when somebody winds up doing really shitty things at the top, the board, the collective, will get rid of them. But then you have people like Donald Trump, who are the embodiment of what people think of as a capitalist, but is in fact an oligarch. It's a private person who's collected multiple investments into a private enterprise, and then from there strategically placed investments in cooperation with other people to influence, control, and power, exert power. And one instance of his corruption is the Taiwan Trump hotels that he's been trying to build for quite some time now.
Talk to them so bad.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, Taiwan? Weren't we just talking about that country? I think it was just, yeah, he made a phone call or had a phone call about them, tweeting about it. They called me and put in big capital letters. You know, like, when I use capital letters in a long comment or something that I'm typing to somebody, it's because I assume that whoever's reading it doesn't think I'm important enough to read the whole fucking thing. So I want to make sure that they get those bits if they're scanning. So they go and find the context to those bits. You know? Because I'm not the fucking president. Do I need to finish this statement?
I don't
if,
think
if,
you do.
if I was the president, I would just, type in complete sentences. These people are going to analyze every single letter of every single word that you fucking say, They're going to know that you said called me. Oh, they said it called him. You don't need to put that in caps for them to fucking focus on that. They'll focus on that. He's a fucking crazy person. Is what he is. Oh, okay. Anyway. I mean, you're president, man. You're still like, pay attention to me. Saturday Night Live, be nice to me. Criticize Hillary if you're gonna criticize me. Equal time. What do you fucking say? Really? Biased? Feel biased. You're the president. Saturday Night Live makes fun.
Like they have for the last 40 years.
Every single president gets made fun of by Saturday Night Live. The opening act of the first fucking Saturday Night Live ever was Chevy Chase making fun of Gerald Ford. Right? Wasn't it?
I believe so.
Holy crap, we're doing an hour long news. Thank you, Candle. So cognitive dissonance and Fox News anger.
Fox News is always angry.
We hear about all this anger. Oh, the Democrats didn't know about this anger. Okay. There's a lot of different fucking reasons why, like I said, people have been rationalizing away the fact that Russia hacked, and that's why we're in this situation. Okay? That's the main reason. All these other reasons are fucking sidelines, and people are wasting their times actually forming strategies around them. All right? And one of the biggest things that has to do with this is the cognitive dissonance that Fox News reinforces among people that makes them angry at the establishment. Okay? And it's basically as simple as constantly seeking someone to blame. Who's to blame? That's what every fucking Fox News thing is. It's they're going to take your problems and tell you who to blame for them so you don't fucking do anything about them. But they want you to hate a certain fucking person or a certain group of people so they can get their agendas done, like the Goldman Sachs Bannon agenda that I talked about in the last video. And they're just pushing your buttons, making you angry at the establishment. Democrats aren't supposed to respond to people being childish and wanting to blame other people for their problems. Okay, that wouldn't be responsible. Just like it wouldn't be responsible of Democrats to try to address the concerns of white nationalists without addressing the fact that they're white nationalists. Anyway. So, let's lighten up the convo before we call it a video.
Video.
No, we're gonna talk about something, easy and fun.
Well, this can't do crap.
Abortion.
Abortion.
Yay, abortion. No. Everybody loves to talk about abortion. Yay, let's have a conversation about abortion and politics. All right, so I've said a million times that Republicans basically use abortion as a hot button issue, and they've made up terms like late term abortion, while not intending to actually save lives. And they prove this because Republicans will fight for a life until the day that it's born. Once it's born, they don't get it. But now, I think they're being somewhat unfairly criticized for this burial and cremation of fetuses from abortions and miscarriages by hospitals
in the state of Texas.
All right. While this can seem and to a certain extent, it would impose extra costs on the providers, on the clinics, or whatever.
And on the parents.
Yeah, therefore on the they're not parents.
No, there's no.
In some cases, the miscarriage cases, that would be a parent. But here's the thing: do you think it's okay, in the eyes of God, for unborn babies to be in dumpsters? Because that's what this bill is about. Um, Anna Kasparian on the Young Turks, probably the best hearted person there. Okay. But her anger was misplaced when she's sitting there being fearful of, is this a matter of the police going to, people's houses and arresting them or whatever if they, miscarried and they didn't bury the abortion. That's really not what it's about. It's about babies in dumpsters. That's not where even an aborted fetus belongs. And there's an acknowledgeable debate about the sacredness, when the sacredness of life, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But I don't see how it's so hard to agree that there's at least enough sacredness there that it doesn't belong in a dumpster. Mama, what you got to say about that?
No, you're right. It definitely doesn't belong in a dumpster. But I'll tell you what does bother me about this, though, is that you're taking away from research. Because now these aborted fetuses and the miscarried fetuses.
There's nothing in the law for that.
No, but what I'm saying is there's nothing in the law preventing them from doing research right now, which is a good thing. I mean, if I'm not saying I agree with all.
So the Texas law
needs
to be amended for.
It will. No, purposes. That's the point. This new law that they're trying to put will prevent any bodies going to science for research. There could be a reason why so many women have miscarriages late in their pregnancies, but with this new law in Texas, nobody will ever be able to research it, find out.
Yeah, I mean that's the way it should be. Obviously, they should have an exemption. If the parent wants to donate to science, it should be just like if you wanted to donate your own body to science. And that's why we need Republicans and Democrats to work together. Because if they were working together, that's what would have happened. Anyway. So, I'm so glad we've had this time together. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Now it's time to say goodnight.
To all my weirdo friends.
With mics.
What?
What? I'm trying to make my song rhyme. I'm trying to make something rhyme tonight.
Oh, I thought you were doing Mr. Rogers thing.
Oh. No, this was like a PBS style thing from back when the kids were like PBS.
We're so coordinated and choreographed.
Jesse.
And on that bombshell, it's time to watch Top Gear. Why not? Hit the little thumbs up thing.
Subscribe below.
And if you haven't subscribed,
check to see if you're still subscribed.
Yes, check to see if you are subscribed. Because you might not be. Might just be popping up recommended. As if they'd recommend my video.